welcome to the videos on how we teach mathematics in my classroom in 2012. My name is Julie Roy and I'm a grade 5 immersion teacher. So today the video will be on how to teach addition fact strategies. So these are just your basic facts, your addition from 1 plus 5 to 9 plus 9. So there's about 100 of those inclusively. Back in the day, we used to teach memorization skills. Today what we're focusing on is strategies that build on understanding rather than memorization. And through extensive practice, the kids look like they've memorized those facts without really memorizing. What they're doing is recalling their strategies in an effective manner, and it ends up mimicking memorization. The first thing students need to know before they can learn their addition facts is their addition with 10. So students need to know what 10 and a number is without really thinking about it. You don't want them counting on their fingers 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. What you want them to do is when they see 10 plus 6, know right away that the answer is 16. When students are really good with that and they have developed automaticity, which means again that they're not counting or they're not thinking very long, then you can move on to the next strategy, which is adding 9. Adding 9 to a number resembles adding 10 because 9 is really just 1 away from 10. So when you add 9 plus 6, what you really want students to think is, well, I know what 10 plus 6 is. That was 16. 9 plus 6, can it be bigger than 16? Of course not. Right? 9 is a smaller number than 10. So the answer has to be less than 16. Well, how many less than 16? There's really 1 less than 16. So the answer would have to be 15. So you want to practice the adding 9 strategy quite extensively before you move on to adding other numbers. Ways to do this can include using playing cards. So having decks of cards where what you would have is a 9 and a 6, and you could keep rotating the second card but keep the 9 steady. So students would see 9 plus 6, the next one could be 9 plus 4, and having them always think, what does the 9 need to make a 10? It needs 1. So where does it get the 1 from? It gets the 1 from the other card. Right? So if it was 9 plus 4, for example, the answer would be 13. The 4 will give 1 to the 9 to make 10, and then you have 10 plus 3, and that's an easy fact for a student because you've already established that prior to starting the addition fact strategies. Once you're done working with 9, when students have developed fluency with 9, you want to move on to the next strategy, which will be adding 8. Again, adding 8 builds on adding 10. So again, if I have 10 plus 6 is 16. If I add 8 plus 6, now I'm thinking 8, is it larger or smaller than 10? Well, it's smaller than 10. So can my answer be larger than 16? No, it has to be smaller. Smaller by how much? How far is 8 away from 10? Well, 8 is 2 away from 10. So therefore, the 6 will need to give 2 away to the 8 to make 10. And what's left is 4. So for this strategy to work, students really need to understand what 2 less than a number is. If they don't know that 2 less than 6 is 4, they will never be able to do 8 plus 6. Hence, if they don't know what 2 less than a number is, you need to practice that on its own as a sub-skill. So 8 plus 6 would have to be 14. And again, you can practice in isolation the 8 plus a number strategy using playing cards, using dice, keeping the 8 steady, and just adding the other number. So once students have learned the 8 and the 9 strategy and they feel comfortable with them in isolation, what you want to do is mix those two together to see if they're just working like monkeys and not thinking, or every time they see a 9 and an 8, they're thinking about the strategy each time. So you want to do them separately, but then you want to incorporate them in small amounts so that their brain keeps thinking. A good way to do that is to give them a practice sheet where every problem is an 8 or a 9 addition. The expectation should be that students answer all of these questions, 20 questions, in about a minute or less. Students who are very fluent can answer 20 questions easy in about 30 seconds. So it's not a huge expectation for students to be able to do this in 1 minute. Students that can't do this in 1 minute means that they haven't really mastered the strategies and need more time practicing the strategy in isolation. Okay? So once you're done with the 8 and the 9 strategy, what you want to work on is really your doubles. Students should know their doubles strategies, right? They should know that 1 plus 1 is 2, 4 plus 4 is 8, 7 plus 7 is 14, and so on. So once they've established a knowledge of their doubles, what you want to look at is numbers that are close to the double, so the doubles plus or minus 1. Or in another word, numbers that are just 1 apart. So 7 plus 8. So a strategy for 7 plus 8, students must know what 7 plus 7 is, that's 14, but 8 is really 1 more. So it's really the same thing as 7 plus 7 plus 1, right? Because your 7 plus 1 makes your 8. So you're just breaking the numbers apart to make it simpler to see what goes together. So 7 is 14 plus 1, it must be 15. So you're again building on something students already know, which are their double facts. That works for all of your numbers that are 1 apart. The other numbers that are left to know when you're learning your addition strategies are then your 7 plus 5, your 7 plus 4. Okay, these are 2 that are left over from these strategies. The other 7s are done through the 7 and 8, through the 7 and 9, or to the doubles or doubles plus or minus 1. So for 7 plus 5, what you want to think about is you can think that 7 is 3 away from 10, so 5 will need to give it 3, and what's left is 2, so that's 12. Or you can break up the 7 into 2 plus 5 is 7, and have 5 plus 5, which is your 10 plus 2, which makes your 12. For 7 plus 4, students at this point should know their partners to 10. 7 plus 3 makes 10, so 7 plus 3 plus 1 more must be 11. Okay? So again, every time you add a new strategy, build it on the ones that you're done. So if you did the 9 strategy, you add the 8 strategy to it. When you're doing the double strategy, you can do that one in isolation and then add it to this 9 and the 8 strategy. So that's all for the addition fact strategy. With lots of practice in isolation and combination, students should really start thinking about their facts rather than memorization. And that will build on longer lasting success. For example, if you want to do 70 plus 90, you don't want to count that. What you want to do is look at 7 tens plus 9 tens, gives you 16s 10. Okay, and that's how you get your 160. Thank you, and have a great day.